Hello everyone and welcome back to Nara's Tarot. Thank you very much for being here. Today we are going to channel some goddess downloads for you, okay? So this is a goddess energy that we are working with today, and I would invite you to connect with a goddess that you work with, or if you don't work with any specific goddess, just think about what this kind of feminine protective energy might be in your life. Think of an energy that looks out for you and wants the best for you, and that is the energy that we're connecting with. Okay, so we have 3 piles for you today. This is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So feel free to pause the video here if you'd like to take some time to connect with the piles, and otherwise I will see you at your reading. Hello pile 1 and welcome to your reading. So we're going to start off with tarot cards over here, and then we're going to pull a bunch of oracle cards to bring you your goddess download for today or whenever this reading finds you. All right, and so the very first card that you have is the 3 of Plants, also known as the 3 of Wands, and then we have the Moon in reverse, followed by the Ace of Cups in reverse, and the 9 of Wands. So the goddess download for you is really just telling you that you're doing okay, pile number 1. This goddess energy coming in just wants you to know that you're fine, you're on the right track, and you don't have to worry so much, or you don't need to be overly concerned about where things are going, whether they're going in the right direction, because they are, okay? And it's a very straightforward message here, because this goddess energy is basically saying that it's basically painting the picture of what you guys are probably experiencing right now, okay? And she's coming in to say that with the 3 of Wands, you've put something out there into the world, be it your intentions, or you've put yourself out there in some way, put your project, your ideas, your manifestations, you put it out there in the world somehow, and you've been waiting for some news to come back, okay? But the Moon and the Ace of Cups, both in reverse, is that impatience as we're waiting. It's not really, clear when the ships will come in. And so with the Moon here in reverse, there's a little bit of fear that the ships aren't going to come in. The Ace of Cups in reverse is us feeling also quite tired of waiting. Us feeling like this cup that we've been hoping to receive may never come. And we may feel a little bit unease if that were to be the case. Some of you might be thinking, well, what do I do if this doesn't happen? Because you hadn't considered another reality where this would work out. So you don't really know right now. There's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of fear as well, and probably inside of you with the Moon in reverse. The Moon in reverse is us not being able to see in the dark of the night and feeling that intensity of that night sky even more. Okay, and so the 9 of Wands here is you guys feeling pretty overwhelmed and feeling like you're pretty cornered in, because this 9 of Wands here, this cat is surrounded by 9 wands, right? And you're kind of like backed up in this corner here. And the reason why is because you haven't given yourself a different option, and you've stayed true to this path and stayed true to what you wanted, and now you might be questioning if it's right for you. And your goddess energy is I don't know why, but she is just coming in to paint this scenario for you. And maybe for some of you, you needed to hear this in order to get some kind of clarity that, this is what I'm feeling, or this is what I'm going through. Maybe that's the case. But also, beyond the 9 of Wands, right? Beyond you guys feeling overwhelmed or backed into a corner, this goddess energy doesn't really have specific guidance for you. Which is kind of interesting, because it's almost like she's saying that, yeah, this is part of the process, that this is the journey that you're supposed to be on, and she's not concerned that this is what you're going through, because this is where you're supposed to be. There could be something about you guys being in this 9 of Wands situation that is somehow giving you a lot of life lessons, that is giving you a lot of insights into what or who you really are. And it's really difficult for me to sit here and tell you what these lessons are, because it's not fun to be in a 9 of Wands situation, and to try to like sugarcoat it with the fact that, we're learning lessons through it is sometimes not easy to say it or to receive that kind of message. But what your goddess wants you to know, that yes, this is challenging. Yes, this isn't ideal. Yes, there are certain big lessons that you're going through in this Knight of Wands situation. However, on a grander scheme of things, there is something to be had here. There is something to be discovered here, and something about this path is very much like meant to be, and she's just not concerned, like this goddess just comes in very neutral. It's like, yeah, this is what it is, this is how it's meant to be. So we honor the path that we're on, we honor the lessons that we are supposed to go through, and we just honor, that experience of it all. Okay, so let's grab your oracle cards now to see what your goddess wants you to know. All right. All right, and we have number 36, purification. Raise your vibrations by caring for your energy. So this could be something that you might want to do right now, especially when you're in a challenging situation. It's always important to raise our vibrations and cleanse ourselves of any negative energy that we're carrying, any frustrating or negative thoughts that we might be holding on to. She wants you to really cleanse and purify your energy on a daily basis, or at least make it a routine. Don't let that kind of thing fester in you for too long, because a lot of times I'm hearing that this negative energy that you might be feeling inside of yourself, it doesn't actually come from you. It might come from somebody else's opinions, or just the general noise of the people around you, or people at large, just whoever you encounter in your day-to-day. Like, there's a lot of noise coming in from that environment, and you might soak up a lot of their negative energy, especially if you are an empath. Okay, so remember to purify yourself on a regular basis. And the next card she has here for you is number 13, the Circle of Life. I give you my blessing to accomplish your quest. Holy shit, I am actually in awe of this card. So you guys are meant to accomplish your quest. And this is why she is so almost like confident of you being on this path, because she knows that this Nine of Wands, this challenging era, it is meant to build you, and it's kind of like it's part of your quest. And I still find it hard to say, right? Because nobody wants to sign up for suffering voluntarily, and if we're going through suffering, it jolly well be worthwhile, right? It's a human thing to think of, and I get that, and I feel that all as well. Me personally, like, I don't want to go through suffering voluntarily. So I cannot sit here and just tell you that this is some kind of lesson and that this is some kind of divine experience. I really cannot, right? But your goddess is coming in to say that this makes your quest your quest. This situation, this uncertainty, this experience that you're going through, all of the good and bad and the in-between of it all, and by that I mean the perceived good and bad and in between, it's all part of your quest. It's all part of what makes you, and what would build your soul into what it's meant to be, or into the next evolution of your soul. So there's an element of she coming in to give you those blessings to help you to overcome these things and to accomplish this quest. So Power One, I just want you to know that you will receive the thing that you're looking for. The Three of Wands that you decided so courageously to set out to discover, you will receive it, okay? Underneath the deck, we have number 12, Sacred Ceremonies. I remind your soul of the sacredness of the world. Wow. Yeah, she's coming in to tell you that, like, you've basically not been forgotten. And she really wants you to know that your soul is here to experience something sacred. And beyond the mundane challenges and realities of human life, there is something greater and bigger that you can tune into. And if it helps, tuning in into that energy to help you to just remember that there's something greater, do that more often, right? It's a little bit like an escape to put our worries and thoughts at the door and just come into almost like a meditative state to just be in remembrance of the greater humanity or the greater soul inside of us. But it's also a good way to remind ourselves that this experience is, or not to re, not yeah to remind ourselves, almost like to see our experiences from a third person perspective as an observer, and it removes us from that it removes us from that sinking feeling or being too entrenched in the suffering of it all, or in feeling all of it. Okay, so that could help you to bring some lightness as well, to do a meditative practice where you leave your worries and your thoughts and everything at the door very intentionally, and you come into a space where you know that everything is going to be okay. Literally everything is going to be okay. And in this moment right now, like if you don't feel like everything is going to be okay, just in that moment now when you're just breathing and being with yourself, you know that you're okay. You know that things are actually okay because you are in that moment okay. All right. So let's have a look at, I want to use the Moonology cards to get some advice from your goddess about your path and your life. Okay, so some general advice about that. I'm gonna look at the cards that flipped over, but we have here, don't let your past hold you back, South Node, as well as a win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. So if you guys are feeling like, all of this fear and this uncertainty is bringing up a lot of emotional baggage, is bringing up a lot of past fears, and it's triggering up a lot of those feelings, this could be one of the lessons that we're learning here, to not let go of those things. Like this experience of fear and uncertainty and chaos, it might also just be showing us that, hey, there are some of these experiences inside of us that we haven't fully processed and we haven't fully let go of. If there's something in your past that keeps coming up as something that you're afraid that will repeat itself, your goddess wants you to know that this experience is also helping you to purify and clear yourself from that kind of trauma, okay? But we also have here a win-win outcome is forecast. So yeah, I think it's overall, you're in a good place, and your goddess really wants you to know that you are and remind you that you are, okay? So as you work through these challenges, right, just remember that you're doing great. And you might not look like that, but behind the scenes, things are working themselves out. Take time to breathe out. Disseminating moon is underneath the deck. Yeah, it's a lot. It's very stressful with the Nine of Wands here, and some of you are holding a lot in. So just remember to give yourself space for relaxation, for doing nothing, especially if you're like constantly working or constantly worried, constantly running either mental thoughts, and it's running in a loop, or emotionally you're constantly feeling super exhausted and super frustrated and constantly feeling things all the time. Just give yourself time to like tune out of all of those emotions. I think my Paulans are actually very I always cannot pronounce the word, but you guys are big empath, okay? So a lot of these emotions that you're feeling, a lot of the thoughts that you are having in your space, they may not be yours, okay? So just be discerning about that and release those things, okay? Now I want to see what she's helping you to heal, okay? Whoa. All right, we have here number 39, creativity, and number 21, sacred space, as well as 26, duality. Okay, underneath the deck we have number 28, anger. Wow. So there might be some things that you guys are feeling that it's been a hindrance to you and your path. People or situations that have been not only unhelpful, but they have been maybe purposely hindering your path. And this anger here is you guys needing or wanting to tell them to get out. Because a lot of times anger is an expression of boundaries, of how we set our boundaries, right? Telling somebody to stay out of this place, stay out of our space, our lane, get out of this, get out of my life. That oftentimes is what anger is trying to express, like stop doing something or telling somebody off, right? And I feel like with this card in reverse, there could be some kinds of like repressed anger that you guys are feeling, but it's definitely a lot better. It definitely feels like it's coming up into the surface more and more, and you're beginning to feel that, you know what, I have a right to be angry. I have a right to feel this, and I don't have to pretend to be the nice person all the time, okay? So if that's you, consider how you want to like set your boundaries clearer between you and the people around you. Okay, but then for the cards that came out here, the thing that I'm noticing is that your goddess is helping you to heal this desire to be seen with creativity, putting your work out there, putting your creative ideas out there, versus this need for you to have a sacred space and keep things to yourself. Right? You're holding this kind of duality between wanting to be seen and wanting to have your own privacy and your own space. And I think for a long time, you guys didn't really know how to navigate this. It was always one or the other. It was always, I had to pour my heart out into the world and tell my friends everything about me, or divulge a lot of my personal things and pour all of that into either my art or my work or my social life, right? And then that might have drained you out, and then you might have retreated into this sacred space and left all that behind. For some of you, I'm also hearing that you're really keen and interested or curious about putting yourself out there, about being seen, but you've been holding back massively because you don't know what's going to happen when you do put yourself out there. The world can be a scary place, is what some of you might be feeling. And people's judgments can be very sharp and very critical. And especially on the internet, nobody really cares, right? Behind the screen, behind some anonymity. So that's something that's a big fear for many of you. Oh, and I'm also hearing, which makes sense. Like a lot of you actually are afraid more so of the judgments of the people that you know. You know, that if you start to post stuff on social media, your immediate friends or your social circle or the people that you live with, your family or whatever, they're going to see it and they're going to judge you for it. And that is actually what scares us more than just some random person on the internet. Yeah, that definitely makes a lot more sense. So your goddess is actually helping you to heal this part of you that wants to be seen. So she's going to help you to be able to overcome some of these fears and be able to embrace the idea of being seen and not to be so afraid of people's judgments, because they're not living your life, and they can't make and speak over you. They can't make decisions for you. They can't speak over you. So you gotta do you, and you gotta also prioritize what you want, right? And these people, they're just not living your life. And if they're not paying the bills and they're not living your life, then we don't have to care about them. Okay, so let us get you some cards right now. I want to look at some blessings that your goddess is bringing through for you. Ooh, okay. We have here summer solstice radiance. And interestingly, at the time of me filming this reading, I am filming it just around the time that the summer solstice happened. So this could be confirmation for some of you if you received some kind of message during the summer solstice. We have ceremony, invocation, and the final card is lake stillness, okay? And underneath the deck, we have fog veiled. All right, the first thing with summer solstice, in terms of the blessings that she's bringing about for you, is that you're gonna experience a lot more joy, a lot more activity as well, as what I'm hearing. If things have been very stagnant, you're gonna find that those things in your life really begin to move. You really experience a lot more either energy or enthusiasm, and there's kind of energy being channeled into that area in your life to help it to move and help it to grow as well. Okay, so summer solstice is that. The next thing about the blessings is ceremony, invocation. Your goddess is also helping you to connect even deeper with your spirituality. So some of you might encounter some kind of either community that you really vibe with, or just a practice that you really enjoy for yourself, and it's going to help you to deepen your own spirituality and be able to communicate with your guides, your goddesses, your deities even more clearly. And there might just be some kind of spiritual routine that you do, even like a mini ceremony that you engage in on a more regular basis that helps you to engage with that spiritual side of you even more, okay? And finally, with lake stillness, she's also helping you to see more clearly, and I feel like this is very related to the fog veiled card that was underneath your deck, because this lake stillness almost is like you finally being able to see things clearly without the intrusions of thought patterns or energies or emotional energies as well that you get from people around you. Somehow she's helping you to set better boundaries, this goddess, and allowing you to enjoy your own stillness and your own clarity. So the fog will be lifted. This veil that you might have been feeling is clouding your judgment and clouding your intuition and your clarity. Something about it is going to be removed in your life, okay? So I'm also hearing for some of you that you might encounter, or you might be able to find a lot more peace at home. If home has been a little bit chaotic, or maybe even the home that you rent with roommates, or with maybe roommates that you don't know of, like it's just like two strangers like renting a place, like something about your home is going to be more peaceful as well. So less conflicts with roommates, less conflicts with your family if you're living with them, less conflicts with even like the surrounding neighborhood. Maybe it's going to be quieter, it's not going to have so much construction, or it's going to be a lot more peaceful. There's something about that as well, okay? Now the final part, or rather the second to last part of this reading is I want to get you some angel answers from your goddess. So we'll take a look at 3 questions. So if you would like to just pause this reading to think about 3 questions you want to ask this goddess energy, and this is going to be the goddess that you work with or a goddess energy in general, just tune in to those 3 questions, tune into her energy, and we'll channel 3 answers, okay? And I won't interpret these too much, but let's have a look at question number 1. For question 1, you have meditation brings answers. And for question 2, that was fast. I'm going to pause here in case some of you might need more time. But for question 2, we have in the near future. Okay. And then question 3. Whoa. Question 3, there are 3 cards. We have compromise, big happy, let me actually show you the card. Compromise, big happy changes, and recovery. Okay. And finally, we are going to grab some affirmation cards. I love to do this for all of my readings. Let's just see what affirmation your goddess wants to leave you with. And here she is saying, I trust myself, I am wise, I am brave. And underneath the deck, we have, I am thankful for many things, and my gratitude attracts abundance into my life. Okay, so pile number 1, this is what I see for your reading. Thank you very much for being here. I hope this reading brought you the clarity that you were seeking, and I look forward to reading for you guys in future as well, okay? Bye now. Hello pile 2, and welcome to your goddess download reading. So we are going to start off with our tarot cards, and then we'll look at oracle cards later on, okay? But the very first card you have here is the 6 of Pentacles, followed by the Star. And then we have the 7 of Cups. All right, the first message from your goddess is she wants you to know that the universe is helping you as much as you are helping yourself. And we see this in the 6 of Pentacles, where you have these 2 dogs kind of like holding the stick at the same time. And the thing is, it kind of almost feels like they don't both have to be doing it. But the thing is, they are. They're both holding this stick. And this is the universe being helpful and supportive. There's a very helpful and supportive energy coming through for this download. And she wants you to be very clear that the universe is a mirror as well. It will mirror what you put in, what you tell the universe, what is what you say to yourself. What you say to yourself is going to be what the universe sees as what you want for you, or what you see in your life, right? So she doesn't see this as you having a right or wrong answer. You can tell yourself anything you want. You can tell yourself that this is who I am, and this is what I want to be, this is what I want to have. There is no right or wrong answer. There is no more deserving or less deserving version of this answer. All right. So she wants you to take away those that layer of judgment, right? That is overly critical and overly analytical about what it really is. And she's coming through with a very real sense of tell yourself who you are just as it is. Tell yourself and tell the universe what you want in your life just as it is. Because overstating your importance or overstating your value is not reality, but understating and undermining your value is also not reality. And a lot of times, self-esteem and self-worth issues put us on either of these very extreme spectrums, right? We either try to overcompensate by overstating our value, or we sink and we sink so low into the negativity that we believe in the worst version of ourselves. But it's most likely neither of these versions, that are on the very extreme spectrum. Your goddess here is saying that be so real with yourself of exactly who you are and what you want. Just stand on business. Stand on business in terms of who you are. And that's exactly what the universe will return to you. And I kind of almost feel like some of you, to give an example, okay, if there's some crazy audacious goal that you want to reach, and you feel for some whatever reason that you have this problem, that issue, this reason for not being able to achieve it, that other thing, and therefore with all of these in mind, you tell yourself that this audacious goal is impossible. Your goddess energy wants you to know or wants you to reconsider how true are these things, and are you going to let these things define you and stop you from reaching that very audacious goal, is what she's saying here. And she's saying that so many of these things that you tell yourself are straight up lies. I gotta be very real with you guys. She's coming in a little bit like, she's very tough love and a little bit sassy, but she's just coming in saying that these are straight up lies. So why do you keep believing in them and telling yourself this untrue story, okay? So the star is also reinforcing this message here. This is the universe and her energy telling you that they have so much more that they can offer you. Even in the star imagery, we see, the mirroring of the universal eye and the human eye. This is at least how I'm interpreting this card right now. And she's saying that there's so much more that your universe can pour into you. And by this message being revealed to you, it also tells you that you have so much more in you to be able to receive this big energy from the universe, this big gift from the universe. There's so much in you. You have that capacity to receive this blessing, right? Because not everybody has the capacity to receive a blessing. Sometimes we do need to expand ourselves to become someone who can receive certain types of realities or certain types of frequencies, right? But you guys are already there. And she really wants you to let go of anything that's holding you back from being able to achieve and receive what's in your highest potential. Now, with that being said, she comes in also with a very real message here with the Seven of Cups. She wants to remind you that you have free will. You always have free will to choose what you want to do, right? She's simply presenting to you that there is so much more the universe can offer. There's so much more that she can offer, but they can only do it and they can only give it to you if you so choose for it to come into your life, if you choose to receive it, if you choose to want it as well. Seven of Cups is about choice. So she's also saying that the universe just can't pour these things into you without your consent. Your consent is so important. So she wants to reassure you also that the things that are happening to you are most likely made up of the choices that you've made or the choices that you did not make, right? It's the sum of all of that. And she wants to assure you that the blessing that you receive will be something that you can handle and something that you choose as well. But you have to choose. You have to make that choice, and you have to almost like, well, not that you have to, but she's coming in with a message of trust. Trust in the choice that you make. Trust that you will make the right decisions for yourself and that you will do right by you, okay? Let's grab your oracle cards now. Let's keep it going. Let's see what kind of a message. Let's start with some guidance from her first, okay? Some additional guidance from your goddess energy. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna do that again. But when I was shuffling and that explosion happened, I was thinking of something. I was thinking of the fact that your goddess energy is inside of you. You are your goddess energy and she is you. So I wonder if that's a message for some of you, okay? But let's have a look. Your card is number 11. We have personal power. I encourage you to be the master of your destiny. Holy shit, yeah. This whole talk about free will and choice is exactly this idea of being the master of your destiny, not leaving it up to anyone else, not giving away that ability to choose to anybody else, but to sit in your own throne of power, in your own seat of power, and be able to steer yourself toward your destiny, okay? That's what she really wants you to do. She wants you to remember how powerful you are and also to use your power, use it wisely, okay? Let's see what else she wants you to know, all right? All right, and we have here number 30, healing family lines, free yourself from secrets, discover the hidden treasure of your heritage. Okay, so some of you might also be healing your family lines, healing any generational trauma, generational karma that you're healing, but also she wants you to remember that within the family line that you're healing are also generational gifts, right? So there's something about your lineage that is also, or your ancestors, I should say, are also bringing in some kind of inner wisdom, some inner teachings that are coming through from your ancestors, and they're helping you to awaken to that inner wisdom inside of you, okay? So be aware of the generational traumas and karma, and also be really receptive to the generational gifts, okay? And underneath the deck, we have number 5, deep listening. I invite you to listen to inner silence where the world resounds, okay? So again, this is confirmation that she is very actively speaking to you. The universe is very actively speaking to you. Also, your ancestors are coming through very strongly. And she wants you to remember that she wants you to also like trust your intuition is what I'm hearing, all right? I want to get some guidance now from the Moonology deck about her guidance to you about your path and your life purpose, okay? We have emotions are running high, super moon. And then we have nothing will come of this situation, void of course, moon, okay. Underneath the deck, we have work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. Ooh. So work through your fears is maybe some of you are worried that some kind of difficult situation might come to pass, like something might happen, but this is her guidance coming through to say that nothing will come of that situation, and it's more so your fears that are playing out some kind of scenario. So work through them. But also with the emotions are running high, super moon card, I feel like she's also saying that you're very close to the goal that you want, okay? And therefore at this time you might be feeling a lot more things. With the supermoon energy, always things get intensified, be it our feelings, our intuition gets heightened. There are certain things that might become a lot more active in our lives with a supermoon energy. So even if you're watching this and like a supermoon is not even near to be happening, she's just saying that things are just intensifying, and if you notice that, hold yourself grounded and steady, feel the emotions and and process them, but also know that like it's also a really good time. It's a good sign that something is coming into manifestation. All right, let's see a message from her about what you need to heal, or a healing message from her. We have home. Wow, our second family/home card. Let's get you a bit more guidance from her. We have here, oh, there's quite a lot of cards. We have, did I miss anything else? No. Okay, but we have growth, number 38, and home is 44. We have burden, and then we have struggle. Oh, okay. Underneath the deck, we have new beginnings, number 2. All right, I know exactly what this is. Because home is about you guys finding your place in the world, finding your own home, finding your own sense of belonging, and also in the process of that, having to walk away from spaces that have felt like home, or from your home itself, your family home. And you've been on a journey for a while, is what I'm hearing. This isn't like news, you know, it's not like something that's happened yesterday. This is something that you guys are very aware of, that home is a big theme for you. Finding belonging, finding a sense of safety and security is something very important to my pile number 2s, okay? And the thing here is, this situation is presenting a lot of struggles for you. And there's a dual message about the struggle card, because struggles help us to grow, number 1, yes, but also the feeling of struggle is that it amplifies the initial pain of a situation. When we struggle, right, it's us adding on to the sting that we've already received. So for many of you, this has been a situation that probably has repeated itself a few times. Maybe it's the same kind of arguments that you get into, or the same kind of challenges or conflicts, and it has made you feel like, you know, you're battling uphill, right? You're fighting uphill, swimming uphill against a very strong current, and therefore that struggle and that feeling of struggle, or the experience of struggle, intensifies. And the healing message from your goddess is to realize that this experience has also taught you that home, how do I put this? Okay, the first thing she wants to say is, with the struggle message, that this is also something that we can start to let go of. Not easy. I mean, it's definitely easier said than done. But start to let go of the pattern of struggle, the pattern of adding on more suffering onto ourselves, either by gossiping or ruminating over some past situation, or maybe feeling, you know, indulging or engaging in feelings of helplessness or hopelessness, or those kinds of things. I don't feel like you guys are that kind of I don't feel that kind of energy from you guys, to be honest, like a very helpless or hopeless energy. But sometimes you guys might experience, you know, a few days of being that way, and she just wants you to remember not to amplify the struggle, okay? But the other thing she wants you to know is that in your quest and your search for home, it might surprise you that this idea of home is actually closer than what you think it is. You might have journeyed very far, and this is either literally or metaphorically speaking, right? That you have either traveled around the world, or you've traveled emotionally and mentally speaking to find a sense of home, but it's actually a lot closer than you think. And she's coming in with a message that home is right inside of you. You are your own home, right? Pile number 2. There's something about you that wherever you go, you will thrive, you will make good for yourself, and you will become your own, almost like your own safe harbor. And so you've been searching for home in different places, in different people, in different situations. And she just wants you to know that actually you are the best home that you have for yourself. You've been so good to you, and it's almost like if we could deconstruct ourselves, you know, if we could deconstruct our soul and ourselves, Your soul is like so happy to be here with you. You know, like it's like your higher self is so happy to be here with you because you are such a good home for them. You take such good care of your spiritual life, your emotional body, your mental body, your even your physical body, like all of these parts of you. They are so happy to be with you, you know. So it's really like kudos to you guys for doing well and doing right by you, okay? The other healing message for you here is that with the growth and the burden card, I kind of see these two things as like a little bit like this is a pairing and this is a pairing, okay? And then growth and burden here are saying that the things that have been helping you to grow in your experience and in your life, they have felt very heavy, you know, with this burden here. It has felt like you hadn't had much support and you had to like carry a huge weight just by yourself, and maybe a weight that is few times, you know, your own body weight, and you had to like lift that emotional, mental, spiritual weight all by yourself to be able to grow. Now, she wants to acknowledge that there were parts of your journey where, yes, you know, you were pretty much on your own. You had to lift something up on your own because it was kind of like that was yours to carry, that was your responsibility. All right, so there is some truth to that. However, she's also saying that, like with this Six of Pentacles card that came in, she's saying that this period of very intense challenge is coming to an end, or it has already ended, because the universe is coming in to support you with the equal amount of energy that you put in. I don't really know what has shifted, but something has shifted in your life such that this part of this season where you had to do things or go through certain things by yourself, it has come to an end, and you're experiencing a lot more growth because things multiply with the support of the universe, right? Things really amplify. I wonder if it's related to your natal charts, if there are any transits that happen to be a little bit more challenging, or transits that actually invite us to go through some major lessons or karmic experiences. If that's the case, some kind of transit has moved on, and a more supportive energy has set in into your life, okay? So this chapter of your life is also very healing for you, to help you to find a lot more inner peace and a lot more stability as well. Okay, I want to see what blessings she is calling in for you. Next, we have here spring equinox rebirth. Yep. You are definitely going through a rebirth. I think that was kind of like the subtle messages throughout your whole reading, like that you guys are experiencing like a growth and a season where things are a lot more stable, things are a lot more, also therefore with it being stable, things can actually move and progress, and you actually become more productive, which is what the spring equinox is about. It's rebirth, it's also reproductive time, it's a productive season of your life. So you're going to find growth, hearing for some of you in your finances, if things have been very stuck, if you've been wanting to build and grow or regrow a career, if some of you have experienced some career challenges and it has kind of like stunted some kind of career growth, you're going to experience some rebirth over there, okay? And whoa, the next card is Meadow, vulnerability. Ooh. So the next blessing from her is also helping you to actually relax and shed away all of that extra weight that you've been carrying. Because when we're in a vulnerable state, we really kind of like, imagine somebody who is vulnerable and they just fall to their knees, right? And there's nothing more that they need to carry, or that they want, or that they can carry. Something about surrendering with vulnerability also therefore feels very light. So she also wants you to surrender to the universe, surrender to the process of it all, and that you don't have to carry the weight by yourself. On a spiritual level, this is you being able to communicate to the universe and tell it very specifically what you would like, and be able to surrender to the fact that it's already done once you've set your intentions. Okay? And vulnerability here also is the lifting of those burdens, the lifting of that very intense and challenging and struggle period. And you just being able to, I see you guys just being able to relax into this very beautiful meadow. Okay? Underneath that, we have summer solstice radiance. Interesting. Pile number 1 also got this card, so I wonder if some of you have came from there. But with these two seasonal cards coming in, spring equinox and summer solstice, I feel like for many of you, the seasons are changing in your life. You know, some kind of cycle is definitely it's definitely shifting, and it's definitely over. You know, a very challenging cycle from the past is over, and you're gonna experience that spring and summer vibes where it's actually more fun, things are growing, life is coming back, and there's a lot more enjoyment. Okay, let's get you some direct answers from your goddess energy. And this is any specific goddess that you work with, or if you don't work with a specific goddess, just think of a feminine energy that wants to look out for you and has the best has your highest good in mind. Okay, so we're gonna ask her, this goddess energy, 3 questions, and I won't interpret it too much, so just hold in your space the first question you have, and you can pause the video here if you like to ask your question first before I reveal the card. And that was very fast, so I'm gonna take my time and give you some space. And the first answer is ask for help from others. Okay, let's get your second answer. Oh, okay, that was really fast too, so I'm not gonna reveal it yet. I'm gonna give you guys some space to pause the reading. All right, we ready? The answer is no, and then it's within the next few months. Okay, so maybe something isn't happening right now, but it might happen in the next few months. Let me just shift my cards a little bit, and let's get you a third answer. Okay. All right, that again was really fast, so I will hold for a bit. You guys ready? You got your third question? All right, your third answer is choose a new direction. Okay. And finally, I want to get some affirmation cards from your goddess to close off this reading. And she says here, the love within me is more powerful than doubt or fear. Nice. And underneath the deck we have, I am doing so well on my life journey. I am proud of myself. All right, and so pile number 2, this is what I see for your reading. Thank you very much for being here. I hope this reading brought you the clarity that you were seeking, and I look forward to reading for you guys in the future as well, okay? Bye now. Hello pile 3, and welcome to your goddess download reading. So we are going to start off with our tarot cards, and then we'll grab a bunch of oracle cards to channel in this message from a goddess energy, okay? And this goddess is whichever goddess energy that you're working with, or if you don't work with a specific goddess right now, this is a feminine energy that wants the best for you, that is thinking of your highest good. So simply connect to the essence of that energy, all right? And so for your tarot cards, we have the 9 of Cups in reverse, the Empress, as well as the Fool. Pile 3, she is coming in with some guidance to clear up some doubts that you may have about your life right now, okay? And the message here is something that you will need to take with discernment, because it may or may not be something that is meant for all of you, so just bear that in mind. But starting out with the 9 of Cups here, she is pointing to the fact that there already has been a situation in your life that is unfulfilling. And for many of you, you are still trying to salvage it. You're still trying to make amends, or basically trying to save that situation. But you know in your heart that it's just not working out. It's not for you. It's not yours to fix. And there really isn't anything left there for you to gain from whatever the situation is with the 9 of Cups in reverse. Many of you with the Empress energy over here, you have a very nurturing heart, and you're very nurturing, you're just a very nurturing person, right? That's just your nature. And so it's kind of very difficult for you to walk away from a 9 of Cups situation, 9 of Cups in reverse situation, because for you, it feels like you could nurse it back to life. You could revive this somehow, that you'd be able to pour so much into it that it would come back to life. But some things need to be let go of. And she wants you to ask yourself if this is where you want to put your energy to. You know, if this is really the cause or the hill that you're willing to die on. Because and the answer, it can be a yes, right? It's not that it's a no for sure. But if it really is, right, then probably you wouldn't feel so challenged by it. Probably this wouldn't feel so much like a sacrifice with the 9 of Cups in reverse. This also is you guys having sacrificed so much of your needs in order to be there for this situation or this person. So if the situation was really meant for you, did you really have to do that? Because the sacrifices, and I'm not saying that sacrifices are bad or anything, but if it is a situation that you really wholeheartedly would like to do, right? If there's some kind of challenge that you really want to overcome, the sacrifices may not feel like a sacrifice, right? But if it's something that it's not really meant for you, you're going to feel every single thing that it is taking from you. And it is taking from you in a almost like in an unfair manner, right? So she wants you to consider that maybe as the Empress, right? And the Empress is very much her energy, but also your energy. She wants you to consider, like, where do you really want to put your life and your time towards, right? And the thing here is, I think so many of you are you're just naturally a giver and naturally like a manifester. With this Empress and her being pregnant and all that, like naturally you're somebody who knows how to manifest and maybe is very good at it as well. And so it's easy for you to want to pour your energy towards something when you can see its potential, when you know that there's something there. But again, the question comes back to, is it for you though? Is that your task? Is that yours to fix? Now, for some of you, this is also getting so much that you're thinking of walking away with the Fool over here. You're thinking of starting fresh. And she is saying that this is possible for you and this is something that's available to you as a path. However, you do need to choose it, right? And I'm not the kind of reader who's going to tell you what to do, or like, I don't like to tell people what to do, and I think in general we can't tell each other what to do. But there's something here about the Fool where it kind of feels like, you know, it's if you feel like it's time for you to move on from this situation, then honor that calling from within. Okay, I'm actually going to draw a little bit of clarification for the Empress card here, because I just feel like she has a little bit something more to say, and I would like to know what that is. Okay, so let me see here. Temperance, and it kind of is in the middle here. Temperance, Hermit, and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, yeah. So Temperance is all about balance and harmony, and also patience as well. But it's in the middle over here. Like it's coming out sideways. And so there's something here about you, like this situation could go both ways. And you could either restore more balance in your life with Temperance upright, restore that healing energy, or it could go back into this very unequal or unbalanced kind of state as well. So there isn't a clear answer with the Hermit and the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, but it's almost like something that you need to ask yourself very clearly. What is it that you see in this? And what is it that you're hoping to get out of this with the Seven of Pentacles? The Seven of Pentacles is about somebody waiting for their seeds to bear fruit, right? Waiting for the plant to bear fruit. This also has a message of patience as well. And even a hermit is he is very patient with himself to be able to go into a hermit's journey and walk away from his entire life and just spend time with his inner world. There is a lot of patience and determination in all of that. And for some of you, this has reached a point where you know that there's really nothing more to be had in this situation with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, Ace of Swords underneath the deck. Yeah, she's just confirming that this is the message here. I think some of you just really feel like you could turn this around with the Temperance card here. You really feel like you could change this Nine of Cups situation. You could really make something that's unfulfilling into something that is. And she's like, you know what? Sometimes letting go is one of the lessons we need to learn, but also probably one of the hardest lessons we got to learn. And yeah, I don't know. It's a very real message. That's why I say use it. Listen to this with discernment, because anytime we choose to walk away from something, it's always something we have to decide with our eyes wide open, right? Either we choose to walk in or walk out. Like we have to do it with our two eyes wide open. But let's just get some oracle cards now to look at some additional things that she wants to tell you. Whoa. Tell you. I just dropped my card. I will pick it up. 1 second. All right, but the two cards for you, number 1 is 28, Gratitude. Feel how life showers you with blessings. Give thanks. And then we have Number 9, all potentialities. I open the dance of synchronicities. Yeah. Again, you guys, with this all potentialities card, you're just somebody who knows how to manifest and you can see the potential in everyone and everything. And therefore, that makes it really difficult for you to move on from stuff because you know that you could make it work or somehow you would be able to figure something out and blah, blah, blah. And you absolutely can, right? Again, the message comes back to, well, is that mine though? Is that my responsibility? Is that my path? Is that really meant for me? And is there something else maybe that's better? She also doesn't, this goddess energy also doesn't want you to tie yourself down to some kind of commitment and reality when there is something even better out there for you. You know, why not open yourself up to that possibility as well? So there's something about then the gratitude energy that might actually help you to see things clearly. I do not know why this message is coming in and how that would happen. But there's something about holding space for gratitude. Oh yeah, holding space for gratitude that would maybe help you to let go of this Nine of Cups a little bit easier. You know, when we actually feel grateful for it, for everything that it has given us and everything that it has taught us, that gratitude might make it easier to say goodbye. All right. We then have number 1, intuition. Intuition is the messenger of your destiny. Follow it. All right. So follow your intuition. It's definitely telling you something. It's definitely giving you some very clear insights. So pay attention. All right. Let's get you some Moonology cards. I want to see what your goddess wants you to know about your path. Okay. Your path, your life purpose, any sorts of things like that. And I just dropped the card again, but this card here is it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. And then we have believe in the impossible, blue moon. Yeah, it's time to release this negativity, this Nine of Cups here. You've held on so long because you really wanted to believe that the situation would turn itself around, and use your faith and that belief and that kind of like tenacity into something that is actually meant for you. It's her message here again. It comes back again and again. Believe in the impossible, blue moon. This is you and that indestructible, undefeatable part of yourself that always knows how to believe in the impossible. And right now, the most challenging thing is to actually realize that you can do that. No, let me rephrase that. The thing that we're realizing is that we also need to be, I guess, discerning, or at the very least careful. I don't even think these are the right words, but let's go with discerning of where we want to put this kind of belief in the impossible energy towards, right? You want to be selective. That is the word. You want to be selective about where you choose to pour that kind of crazy faith into something, right? Because some things do need to end. Some things, some situations, some people, like it's just, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't, right? And it needs to, the best thing that we could do sometimes for ourselves, for the situation or for the people in it, is to let it go rather than fighting on. All right. Underneath that, we have show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. So if you've been hiding this kind of like superpower of yours, that you have been the one that has been holding everything together, that this has been your doing, that you have been the person that has kept everything together, remember to also see your value and show people that, hey, this is what I've been doing behind the scenes. Whether this is a career, right, that you've been doing so much for the people around you, for your colleagues, supporting them, doing extra beyond your job description. Maybe this is even like family, like you've been doing so much, going above and beyond for the people and taking care of them. Make sure that they know, okay? I want to get some messages now about a healing message from this goddess energy. We have number 34, ancient wisdom, and number 22, transformation. Underneath the deck, we have number 40, retreat. So the healing message from your goddess here is that you're being very supported with ancient wisdom in this transformative time in your life right now. There are some things that are changing in you with the cocoon over here. Even with the Empress, I mean, she is a birth, she's pregnant, right? And pregnancy is a very transformative experience, and we're birthing a new reality, just like the cocoon or the caterpillar becomes the butterfly. And in this process, your goddess wants you to know that you're being very supported by the ancient wisdom. Your ancestors, your guides are coming through, and also nature is an energy or an essence that you may want to get closer to or work with, because the natural world is also able to give you a lot of support and wisdom if you so choose to ask it questions and ask it for help, ask it for advice. Okay, so pay attention, especially if there are any signs or synchronicities when you're out and about in nature as well. And so retreat here then makes a lot of sense together with Empress over here, because this is a time where if you want to pay attention to your intuition, then we also may need some time alone. We need some solitude to listen to that voice within and tune out from the external voices, the opinions of others. We've heard enough of that. You know, we've got it. We've taken all the different sides. And now it's time for us to integrate that information, find some kind of space of retreat, and actually figure out, well, what is it that I feel about this, okay? So she's also helping you to be able to do that as well. Now let's get you some blessings from your goddess, see what she is gifting to you. We have island, solitude. Okay, yeah, she's just confirming that. So the first blessing is that she is blessing you with some kind of time and space for solitude. If things have been pretty chaotic in your life right now, she is also helping you to like remove some of these perhaps remove some very extroverted things that you may need to do. I don't know, some of you might find that there's an opportunity to work from home a little bit more, or maybe you feel that you actually get some time away, like there's a vacation that you can take that you'll be able to spend time by yourself, like something about it like is opening up an opportunity to actually be in solitude. Okay, let's see what else she is blessing you with. All right, we have Gaia nurturing. What were we talking about? That you guys are just by nature, you're a very nurturing person. Okay, and so the blessing that's coming in for you is she bringing in this goddess energy, bringing in that nurturing energy back to you, because you've been so nurturing to others. Well, you also need to be nurtured, right? And so she's coming in with that blessing, that energy, that life force that brings back vitality back into your life. So if you've been feeling pretty fatigued, if you've been feeling like low energy and maybe you don't really have the time or the space for self-care, there's something shifting in your energy right now, and this is that goddess pouring back that love and that nurturing energy back into you to help you to then take care of yourself. Okay, underneath that we have spring equinox rebirth. Very interesting. Pile number 2 got this card as well. But yeah, rebirth is saying that she is helping you to also regain that sense of life in your everyday life as well. She's helping you to feel alive again. And I'm also hearing if there's something that you feel that you have lost, she's also helping to rebirth that. And I don't know where that's coming from, but there's also something that is what she's saying. Okay, the next part of the reading, I want to get you 3 cards to answer 3 questions directly from your goddess. So this is again the goddess that you're working with, or the goddess energy in general, right? Just the energy of a supportive, feminine energy that wants the best for you, that has your highest good in mind. So you can feel free to pause the video here to ask your 3 questions to your goddess, and we will just reveal the answers directly from her. So for question 1, let's see. All right, for question 1, we have success and the situation will improve. Perfect. And I'm not going to interpret these too much, so let's put them here. And now for question 2, so hold that question in your space. All right, for question 2, you have Listen to your intuition and a year from now. Okay. And question 3, you have, you're ready. All right. And finally, I want to get some affirmations from your goddess. So let's see what she wants to leave you with. Whoa. Okay. 2 messages from her. She says, the universe has something very special in store for me. And her next message to you is, nature loves me. Again, nature, that nurturing energy. And ancient wisdom. Opening my heart to nature helps me to feel happy and peaceful. And underneath the deck, we have, I choose happy and loving thoughts. I feel good and express love for myself and others. All right, so pile number 3, this is what I see for you. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope this reading brought you the clarity that you're seeking, and I look forward to reading for you guys in future as well, okay? Bye now.